What's up, everybody? It's Henry with Conoly Coaster Designs coming at you with another Dorney Park Project 2024 update slash general park update. We haven't seen much at the construction site of note pertaining to the Project 2024 roller coaster, but we're seeing some interesting things around the construction site that I wanted to highlight. But first, sorry this video has been so delayed in me getting this out. I meant to record a video 2 weeks ago, but I didn't feel there was enough content. I recorded a video last week, and my computer crashed in the middle of exporting it. And so I have a brand new computer. And I have all new software, all new setup, hoping that it helps make these videos better, helps improve the quality, but I want to apologize, because I meant to get a video out last week, but computer crashing, having to get a new one, get it all set up, it really delayed things. So, talking about Project 2024. As we learned at the ACE event, Project 2024 is a little bit more than just a roller coaster. Project 2024 involves an update to the haunt building back there. It involves a update to the area in front of Possessed. It involves seeing different the beauty, the wildlife of the park, and the scenery that we've grown to love about Dorney Park. So, in covering this, I'm realizing something, that I have to cover more than just roller coaster construction. I have to cover what's going on in this area that may well become a themed area. And as we know from the ACE event, the theme of the haunt building is going to have something to do with the theme of the roller coaster. Chase in the background there, that's one of our cats. It's going to have something to tie in with the roller coaster. So what we're seeing happen at the haunt building very well could help lead us in a direction of where the roller coaster is going to, what it's going to be named, themed after, look like, potentially color schemes. And in a couple photos that I'm going to have from today's trip, now I'm recording this on Sunday, the 25th of June, and we'd already see some color being applied to new facades on the haunt building. So could this be a direction of what color the future roller coaster is going to be? We don't know. Now, talking about the roller coaster, there is no track on site. There are no supports on site. There is nothing in the staging area, which again, we've been told will be that open plot of land that's normally used for a haunt building, to the left of Steel Force, to the left of where Dinosaurs Alive was, behind Revolution. There's nothing there. I have checked it as best as I can from publicly accessible areas of the park. Again, as I always say, if you're trying to see if you can find something, do not violate the no trespassing signs, the employee-only areas. Make sure you're recording these things and taking photos and peeking around from publicly accessible areas of the park. But there is nothing back there right now. They haven't even moved the crane that's up in the upper employee lot, which I theorize will be the crane that they help unload track and supports and everything with. They haven't even moved that. We are starting to see heavy equipment on site, which is exciting. It's not excavators, it's not cranes, it's not forklifts, but it is heavy equipment. And I think that some of it's really got more to do with the haunt building than I do Project 2024, but these two pieces of equipment could potentially stick around for the construction of Project 2024. And just a little bit more on Project 2024. As I said, I think they're waiting on some permits to come back. I also believe that they are waiting on some sort of analysis of the ground. Again, as I covered, this ground has held 2 different roller coasters, but none of them will have been as heavy as what a B&M mini dive will be. This is also, as I was informed, and I completely forgot about this, this was once the site of a swimming pool. In fact, the world's largest artificial swimming pool. So there's a lot that has to go into making sure that the ground can support the footers, can support the structure of this ride, and ensure that it's not going to sag, that it's not going to have long-term problems. So I think they're waiting on all of that to come back. And the last thing I have on an update pertaining to Project 2024, the coaster itself, is that there have been 2 shipments from Bollinger and Mabillard to Dorney Park. There was one way earlier in the year. I theorize that that is parts for both Hydra and Talon, but there was a second 8-ton shipment to the park. And while it might not be the trains, it was a heavy shipment. And these trains, best I can tell, weigh roughly 2 tons apiece. So depending upon how far in advance Bollinger and Mabillard is building and shipping trains, depending upon what their workload is, maybe the trains are already at Dorney Park. It's hard to tell. We won't know for a while. But it's exciting. There is a little bit of excitement for me as an enthusiast, knowing that there are things being shipped in from Bollinger and Mabillard, being that we can pretty much definitively say that this will be a B&M mini dive based upon the footer layout, based upon renderings that other enthusiasts have made, and just general knowledge of these roller coasters. So it's really exciting. Moving forward into talking about the Haunt building, because again, this is a part of Project 2024, and it may not be a big part right now, but again, this could give us some insight into what the roller coaster may look like and what the theme could be. So these photos are going to look like some photos I've had in previous videos. There are various piles of wood around the area behind, or in front of the Haunt building, in front of the queue. That area's fenced off. You cannot get to it now. They have fenced off pretty much right after the ramp to the men's bathroom in the park, in that section of the park, and they have fenced off the staircase that leads off of the women's bathroom on both sides. You cannot get close to the Haunt building like we were able to previously. But there is a lot of wood unseen. And as you're going to see in some other photos here, they are building a very big facade on here. Now, these photos are a week old. I'm pretty sure I took these last Sunday. And you can see that they were laying out these assemblies. This was all photos taken on Sunday. Now, they were laying these assemblies out. We had the opportunity to go back to the park on Monday night after I got done work. And by the time we got back to the park on Monday night, they had already taken these assemblies that they had sitting on sawhorses, and they had erected them on the front of the building. Now, looking at these, of course, it's not a level top across there, and I wish I could have put the video out before I got the photos today. I was already theorizing that there was going to be some sort of jagged top to it, and it was going to look like something was broken off, or just something looked weird, right? In front of where you see the boom lift there, you'll see a larger door opening. I don't know if maybe that's going to be for like a roll-up door, garage door, something like that. You can see what might be framing for windows and everything. But they've done a little bit of work on this in the week that's passed since, or 6 days that's passed since this video or these photos were taken. And now you can see where they've chopped off the tops of that. And they've made this really jagged. And I got a photo that's a little closer in on that. You can see where they have a lot of framing behind it, a lot of mounting spots behind it. Even more obviously framed out potential windows there. And as you look closer, they have really chopped and, hacked into those beams. So I really think it is going to be something that's going to look like it was broken apart. As far as theming goes, I mean, this doesn't really tell us much, but it is going to maybe be some sort of apocalyptic theme, maybe something dilapidated, something torn apart, who knows. But they've taken really great care in making sure the tops of those pieces of wood, those structures that are going to be backing this facade, they've taken a lot of care to ensure that they look like they were ripped off and torn off. So who knows what the true theming of this is going to be, but it's something to look at, and it's something that we will be able to see. And in a photo that I'm going to overlay over in a second here, you will see that there is already color being applied to a new portion of additional construction on the Haunt building. And again, who knows what this is going to be. This could very well just be a part of the queue system on, leading into the haunted attraction. It doesn't leave you with much to guess off of, but there is color on there, and it's brand new color. Could this be the support colors? Could this be track colors? Could this be the color of the trains? We don't know. All we know is that the AC vent did say that the theme of this would be correlated to the new roller coaster. So, I'm talking about boom lifts, and there's obviously these boom lifts on site. And I don't know whether they will have anything to do with the construction of the roller coaster. Now, the one of them is an 86-foot reach, so there's a very good chance that it could be there when construction starts on the roller coaster. There's a good chance it could be involved in the construction of the roller coaster. The other one's a 45-foot reach. I'm pretty sure that is strictly being used for the facade, and in fact, as of today, I didn't even see it at the construction site, so I'm going to assume they've already finished with that and they've moved it off. But the boom lifts I'm talking about, here's the 86-foot reach one. It is a big mamma jamma of a boom lift. In fact, my crazy mind, I just want to take this thing to full extension and just take a look around. But it is a 86-foot 860 SJ from JLG. Again, this could have absolutely nothing to do with the construction of the roller coaster. Here you'll see the 45-footer, but it's still something of note. This is heavy equipment down where the construction is going to be occurring. Again, this 45-footer wasn't there today. The 86-footer was still there today. So that one is still on site. I don't know if the 45-foot has already been taken off site because it's no longer needed. But that was something of note. That was something that I wanted to point out. As for the construction site itself, where the 2024 roller coaster is going to be, there's nothing to write home about. What I still suspect are excavations for footers. They are still covered up. All the excavations across the park or the service road there, they are covered up. There are no new excavations that I can see. There are no new site markers. Nothing. So I'm sticking with my guns on saying that they are still waiting on some scientific analysis of the soil to come back, maybe waiting on some more permitting. We should start to see something happening within the next few weeks. It's getting towards the end of June. I pointed out in my last video, I think that we will start to see track and supports start to arrive at the park sometime between now and the first 2 weeks of July. That is just what my little, birdie is telling me, and that's what my little bit of information that I've been able to garner is telling me. Is it right? It might not be. I mean, I'm starting to second guess myself and second guess my little birdie right now, but it's a trusted resource that I have that's telling me that we should see track and supports within the next few weeks. Which is exciting, because now we'll have that information to tie in, okay, color of the track with the color of that haunt building, or color of the sports with the haunt building. We might be able to start to further theorize what this thing is going to be. So, moving away from that, but still within the construction area, we have started to see them empty out those back sheds. Now, those back sheds were being used for storage for stuff for the Grand Carnival. It's also storage for some haunt-related items. And they've been using it as an area to build props and scenery to go into the new haunt building, whatever it may be. We have seen these crates appear. And these crates are going to be... okay, now it's actually moving. Thank goodness. I thought I was going to be doing this with nothing moving. So these crates are prop crates. They are filled with something for Grand Carnival. Who knows what it is? If you have any insight, I would love to know. But they are for the Grand Carnival. These are not roller coaster parts. If you're at the park, you're walking around, you're checking things out, they are definitely not roller coaster parts. They are labeled for the Grand Carnival. It's being all moved out into where the construction site is going to be for the new roller coaster. It's being staged, and as I was able to figure out from today on the Zephyr, these crates, these parts of Grand Carnival are also being staged in such a way that they're kind of advertising the Grand Carnival on the Zephyr, and I'll show a video that shows that in a minute here. But that's all this is. This is not parts of the roller coaster, but being that they're being emptied out of those buildings in the back, I would imagine that soon we'll start to see those buildings be demolished and make room and make way for the new roller coaster. So, we've talked about the Haunt Building. We've talked about Grand Carnival. We've talked about pretty much the nothingness that is the construction on the new roller coaster. And in a general park update, I just want to say that the retrospect show has opened, and I haven't sat through an entire retrospect show, but from what I've seen, the lighting is great, the sound is great, although today I did notice that it seems like some of the lights are going a little haywire, and as someone who's worked with DMX technology, or DMX universes that are used in lighting, it could be anything causing these lights to go a little haywire. Some of the LED pars that were hanging across the front of the stage, they were flashing white and various colors. A couple of lights in the back end are not functioning properly. Could it be water that got into the connections? There's various things that could have done that, but overall, the show looks great. And I'm really excited to see that happening, and the Dorney Park putting this type of energy into a show. And the midway looks amazing when it's lit up. You got these wonderful projections that say Dorney Park and Wild Water Kingdom. It's just a really colorful midway. It's nice to see something other than just static, bland, white lighting. And I'm going to shut up for a minute and stop talking and let you see retrospect. So yeah, that was the ending of retrospect. I didn't film the whole thing. I didn't want to do any sort of copyright issues or anything like that. But I wanted to give an idea of what retrospect looks like. Bunch of talented dancers, bunch of talented musicians, bunch of talented vocalists. More props to them. They have more courage than I could ever have. I mean, I could never get up on stage like that and do that. I've been able to do it behind a drum set. That's about it. That's a little too far for me, even comfort-wise, but it is nice to see. And so, in closing, we don't have much, but it's something. We're starting to see some things starting to move and some stuff start to happen down at the construction site, which is really nice. And before I do my little outro spiel, I just want to say something to anybody that was operating Thunderhawk today. After the storm went through, and that first train dispatched from the station and got stuck on the brake run. If you guys were weirded out by me getting so excited for being stuck on that brake run or asking you guys to make sure it happens next time on the lift, I apologize. I have a running list of the rides that I've broken down on, and Thunderhawk was not on that list until today. Kind of cool to experience. But Thunderhawk was hauling after getting wet tracks, and yeah, it was a great ride. So anyway, with Conoly Coaster Designs, my name is Henry. You guys have a great weekend, or a great week, and hopefully this weekend we can come back with actual construction updates. Fingers crossed. There's a lot of rain on the horizon. There's a lot of thunderstorms on the horizon, so that could really hamper efforts, but maybe we can at least see track deliveries. As I always say, show love to one another, support each other, and we're a niche community. I've said this multiple times. All of us are enthusiasts of these things, which the general public generally just hops on and rides. They don't even think about how they function or what a block zone is or what goes into the construction of one, or hell, even what the model or brand is. We spout this stuff off like it's nothing, but we are a part of a niche community that is enthused.